Which of the following is correct? A. Voltages across a capacitance can change instantaneously. B. Voltages across a capacitance cannot change instantaneously. C. Charge across a capacitance is always constant. D. Charge across a capacitance can change instantaneously. The correct answer is voltages across a capacitance cannot change instantaneously. The VI relation for a varistor is A. IkVn, B. Vkn, C. IkV3, D. Vk3. The correct answer is IkVn. For two-port reciprocal network, OC output voltage divided by input current is equal to AB, BZ12, C1Y12, DH12. The correct answer is 1Y12. In figure, the current through two resistance is A0, B2A, C2A, D1A. The correct answer is 0. An RC impedance function has a pole at S0. The first element in the Foster form of synthesis. A is R. B may be R and C. C is C. D is R and C in parallel. The correct answer is may be R and C. 08.85 x 1012 floor M. A true. B false. C. D. The correct answer is true. A series RC circuit has fixed XC and variable R. The current locus is in the first quadrant. A true. B false. C. D. The correct answer is true. One limitation of constant K filters is that Z0 is not constant in the pass band. A true. B false. C. D. The correct answer is true. An M-derived and constant K filter section connected in cascade give A. Proper impedance matching, B. Proper phase shift characteristic, C. Proper attenuation characteristic, D. All of the above. The correct answer is proper phase shift characteristic. At resonance, the parallel circuit constituted by an iron cord coil and a capacitor behaves like A. Open circuit, B. Short circuit, C. Pure resistor of value R, D. Pure resistor of value much higher than R. The correct answer is pure resistor of value much higher than R. For an RC admittance function Y, the slope dyd A is positive, B is negative, C may be positive or negative, D 0. The correct answer is positive. Carbon resistances are used in very high values. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is true. In a linear bilateral passive element two-port, which of the following holds for Z parameters? A. Z11 Z22, B. Z12 Z22 Z11 Z22, C. Z11 Z12 Z22 Z21, D. Z12 Z21. The correct answer is Z12 Z21. During discharging a capacitor through a resistance, voltages across R and C are equal in magnitude. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is true. In an RLC series circuit having finite values of RLC, the phase difference between applied voltage and current is A. always 0, B. between 0 and 180, C. between 0 and 90, D. always 90. The correct answer is always 90. In ZRC S0 at S, the last element in second Foster realization will be AR, BC, CR and C in series, DR and C in parallel. The correct answer is C. A short circuit is that which is A. used short pieces of wire, B goes only a short distance. C is used for dimming light. D offer very low resistance path for current to flow. The correct answer is offer very low resistance path for current to flow. The nodal method of circuit analysis is based on A. KVL's Ohm law, B. KCL's Ohm law, C. KCL's KVL, D. KCL KVL Ohm's law. The correct answer is KCL's Ohm law. In figure, the current I A is 2A from A to B, B is 2A from B to A, C depends on the value of R, D none of the above. The correct answer is 2A from A to B. Pico-farad is equal to A 10-6 farad, B 10-12 farad, C 10-3 farad, D 10-9 farad. The correct answer is 10-12 farad. A network has only independent current sources and resistance. If values of all resistors are doubled the values of node voltages, A will become half, B will remain unchanged, C will become double. D cannot be determined unless circuit configuration and values of resistors are known. The correct answer is will become double. Which of the following is correct? The circuit shown in the figure A1 and 3, B1 and 2, C1 and 4, D3 only. The correct answer is 1 and 3. A sine wave of voltage varies from 0 to maximum of 200 V. How much is the voltage at the instant of 30 of the cycle? A 50 V, B 82.8 V, C 100 V, D 173.2 V. The correct answer is 100 V. In the figure shown, assume that all the capacitors are initially unchanged and VIT 10 UT volts, then V0T is given by A8 E 0.004 T volts, B8 J E 0.004 T volts, C8 UT volts, D8 volts. The correct answer is 8J E 0.004 T volts. For the network in figure, the correct loop equation for loop 3 is AI14 I2 11 I30, BI14 I2 11 I30, CI14 I2 11 I30, DI14 I2 6 I30. The correct answer is I14 I2 11 I30. Force electric intensity X current. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is false. In a RLC circuit at resonance is A maximum in series resonance and minimum in parallel resonance, B maximum in parallel resonance and minimum in series resonance, C minimum in both series and parallel resonances, D maximum in both series and parallel resonances. The correct answer is maximum in series resonance and minimum in parallel resonance. The zeros of a minimum phase function lie on A imaginary axis, B left half plane or origin, C left half plane or imaginary axis, D right half plane or origin. The correct answer is left half plane or imaginary axis. A network contains only independent current source and resistors. If the values of all resistors are doubled the value of the node voltage, A will become half, B will remain unchanged, C will become 1/3. D cannot be determined unless the circuit configuration and the values of the resistors are known. The correct answer is will become 1/3. Which of the following statements is correct? A RC is a dual pair, B LC is a dual pair, C Norton is a series circuit, D Thevenin equivalent a parallel circuit. The correct answer is LC is a dual pair. Which of the following statements is correct? A. In the magnetic circuit, energy is needed continuously to maintain the flux. B. In the magnetic circuit, energy is needed continuously to maintain the flux. C. The flow of current in the electric circuit involves discontinuous expedition of energy. D. The flow of current in the electric circuit requires energy for creating the current but not to maintain it. The correct answer is: in the magnetic circuit, energy is needed continuously to maintain the flux. The response to sinusoidal excitation can be found by A. Settings Sj in the network function. B. Settings Sj in the network function. C. Taking inverse transform of network function. D. None of the above. The correct answer is settings Sj in the network function. The time constant of an RC circuit increases if the value of resistance is A. Increased, B. Decreased, C. Either of the above, D. None of the above. The correct answer is increased. For an RC impedance function, A. All poles lie on J-axis. B. All poles are simple. C. All poles are simple and lie on negative real axis. D. None of the above. The correct answer is all poles are simple and lie on negative real axis. If the ratio P/S/Q/S represents a transfer function, then A. The degree of Ps may be as small as 0 independent of degree of Qs. B. The degree of Ps and Qs must be equal. C. The degrees of Ps and Qs must not be equal. D. The degrees Ps and Qs must differ by at least 2. The correct answer is the degree of Ps may be as small as 0 independent of degree of Qs. In the above circuit, if the power dissipated in the 6 resistor is 0, then V is A. 20th February 1945, B. 2030, C. 2045, D. 20th February 1930. The correct answer is 20th February 1945. If VA1 VA2 100V and VA00, then VAVB VCR A200 100 and 100V, B100 100 300V, C200 100 100V, D100 100 100V. The correct answer is 200 100 and 100V. In figure, the switch S is initially open and steady state conditions are reached. At T0, switch is closed. The initial current through 2C capacitor is A0, B1A, C2A, D3A. The correct answer is 1A. For an RC driving point impedance function, the poles and zeros A should alternate on real axis. B should alternate only on negative real axis. C should alternate on imaginary axis. D. None of the above. The correct answer is should alternate on real axis. In the circuit of figure, the current through 5 resistance at T is A4A, B 2.5A, C 3.1A, D 0A. The correct answer is 2.5A. In H-parameter representation, the independent variables are A I1 and V2, B I2 and V1, C V1 and V2, D I1 and I2. The correct answer is I1 and V2. For maximum transfer of power, internal resistance of the source should be A equal to load resistance, B less than the load resistance, C greater than the load resistance, D none of the above. The correct answer is equal to load resistance. Nichrome is used in A heater coils, B underground cables, C overheated wires, D lamp filament. The correct answer is heater coils. The Laplace transform of a continuous time signal xt is if the Fourier transform of this signal exists, then xt is a e2t ut b e2t ut c e2t ut d e2t ut. The correct answer is e2t ut.